Hi there. Do you suffer with creative ADD and multiple business disorder? My name is Beth Martins.
And I'm Sherry Rothwell, and we're here to share with you how you can actually overcome your creative ADD and bring everything together into one business that you absolutely love and allows you to express all of yourself through the business. And Beth and I are absolutely no stranger to having creative ADD and multiple business personality disorder. Myself, I've had, I think when I first got started in business, I had like, I don't know, I think in total I've had maybe like 6, 7 websites, started over, a gazillion times. I'm also a Gemini, so I have, it's like there's 2 of me. So I have to be running a couple different businesses at a time. It's just my natural way of being. However, what Beth and I have done is looked at bringing all of our gifts together under one business. And so everything that I've been doing up till now has been slowly evolving to bring us to this point here where we've created this business where we can express every aspect of ourselves through it. So for myself, as an example, my background is as a nutritionist. So in the work that Beth and I do together, even though we're helping women with business, we have a huge emphasis on self-care, and Beth is also a yoga teacher. So we love to incorporate the natural health and the self-care aspect into our work because it's really important to us and it's really a part of our soul. So it allows us to not have to keep it separate, that we can actually use it to create our business in a very unique way that makes the competition or the idea of competition completely dissolves, because no one can do it the way we do it as unique souls in our own way. So I'm going to turn it over to Beth so that she can share with you some of her experience having creative ADD.
Yes, absolutely. So in fact, Sherry, you cured me of that. So that was the first experience I had, because I had so many different interests, and I had different skills, and I had different trainings and different passions. I was, as you mentioned, I was going to India every year. I learned to teach yoga. I learned to teach meditation. I was giving workshops. I'm a musician, so I was performing. I was doing kirtan. I was doing some voice finding lessons, and it really felt like every day I was going in every direction, and I faced the beginning of the day kind of banging my head going, where do I focus today? What actually is my calling this moment? And every time I showed up in my business, I did have a personality disorder because I didn't know who I was supposed to be, because I was in front of different audiences, not having skillfully defined my audience, who I am, and pulling all these elements together. So what I felt like is that here I was in the center, and I was just going like this. My energy was shooting off in every direction, and at the end of the day, what I really felt was a loss. I felt burnt out. I felt unhappy, even though I loved everything that I did. I was totally in my passion, but somehow I was losing energy, so it really didn't work out. And it was, when I pulled it all together, then it was like a dream come true. I didn't even think it was possible. And frankly, it was really difficult because we've been pioneering with this. We didn't have a lot of guidance to go through it. But now, having developed a system, we're making it easier and easier for women to jump in.
Exactly. So you might be in the place of looking at the passions that you have and wondering, like, how can you bring them all together as something that is marketable and profitable as a business? And one of the things that is really, really important to realize is that you don't actually have to figure out something that you think is marketable, like something that someone else has done before. We really come from the place of, if you bring together something that you're super passionate about and you actually have the business and marketing skills behind you, everything and anything is marketable. So what we help women do is to actually create a completely outside the box, unique business that's never ever been done before. And like I said earlier, that completely eliminates the need for any competition, which is something that's it's a big topic in business, and especially when people first get started in business, they're often worried about the competition, what everyone else is doing. But when you bring yourself to your work, you never have to think about that.
Exactly. I was just going to throw in a comment about women. We have been set up culturally over time to be in competition against each other. And that's something that I know both of us really stand for putting an end to. So we can see ourselves as part of a growing force, that every time we contribute to our life's calling and in a really authentic way, then we're helping everybody grow in that way. There's no competition when you're answering your life's calling. Only you have it.
Yeah, exactly. And so really what we want you to do is actually give yourself permission to have your business in any way that you want it. Completely. Like completely drop any idea of it having to be a certain way and recreate your business, or if you're in startup, create it right from the start so that it completely is a natural expression of how you like to move through life. So, you know, just because somebody else, you know, starts their business Monday to Friday and they're, you know, 9 to 5, doesn't mean that your business remotely has to look like that. It could look like anything. And so the most important piece is that if you love your business so much because you've set it up in a way that is builds your energy, you're never, if it means enough to you, you're never going to think of quitting, right? Because it's going to be something that you love as much as you would love a child. So when you give birth to your business, it's like giving birth to a baby. It's not something that you want it to be so committed to it that you'd be happy to do it for the next 20 years. Just the same way as if you become a parent, you're going to be, well, not always happy. We know that is like, let's tell the truth about motherhood. It's something that you make a commitment to. You never think of leaving your child. Never. No matter how, you know, tough things get going, you're going to be in it for the long haul. You want it to love your business in the exact same way. And that guarantees that no matter what, you're going to be successful.
That's it. It really does come down to the commitment, because let's face it, it's not very pleasant, but some parents do leave their children. For sure, it happens.
Yeah,
and it's somehow, they haven't discovered the love in themselves, and then they haven't decided, this is it. This is my kid. Yes. I'm taking care of it, and I'm going to see it through to the very end, whatever that means, like the end of your life. Because in a more conventional way, we're all headed somewhere for retirement. I mean, is that word so obsolete? We don't use that word, Sherry, do we?
No, God, no. I mean, you should be loving your business so much that you never would ever want to not do it. Like, I mean, why would you set up a life that you weren't spending your time doing what you loved? I mean, exactly. We're only here on this planet for how long? It's here as an adventure. Like, what are you doing here?
That's it. And retirement is somewhere down the line for when you're old, and then you don't have even the ability to enjoy your free time. And many people actually die at retirement because they feel a loss of their purpose and their function and ability to contribute in society. So that is just a total dead end. And there's the capacity. We live lives right now that are close to a fairy tale. Every day I wake up and it's an opportunity. Now I'm not perfect at receiving it on the mental level and having all the feelings that would reflect my life. But the way every day I tweak and I get closer and closer to having the perfect life. I just had the perfect birthday.
That's awesome. Right. Well, when you have that freedom, when you're in control of your life, then you get to look at evaluating what works and what doesn't work for you on a continual basis, and you actually have that power to change where you see something's not fitting you and where you're losing energy in your business.
Beautiful.
So basically, it's really important to recognize that businesses don't fail, people quit. And that's why it's so important to choose something that you would want to do like forever. And it doesn't mean necessarily that you will do it forever, because we're always growing and changing, but you have to love it enough right now that would feel like something that you would want to do forever, and you would never want to retire from, because why would you want to retire from something you love doing, right?
Exactly. And to me, once you've found that calling, you do want to be in service lifelong. Right? What would be wrong with that if right to the moment of your last breath, if you were able to offer who you are and bring the light of that to the people around you in one way or another, it's gonna continuously evolve. That's another thing that women have a lot of fear about, making choices and making decisions and making commitments, because they think that somehow, I'll make this decision or this commitment now and it's a forever done deal.
Right.
But you don't understand the kind of freedom that you can have to have the medium of your business be such a fluid one, and every day you can make new choices and tweak and make better on. So it doesn't have to be the Groundhog Day of just seeing your crappy life every single day repeating itself over and over again like a loop on a reel.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're excited actually because we have a solution for this. So you may be wondering, like, if I have all these different passions, like, how could I possibly bring them together in a business that people could understand and have me myself express myself to the world in a way that people get? And the way that we do it ourselves and the way that we help our women do it is through something called a multi-passionate personality brand. And what that is basically you're creating a business that's centered around you and your passions and the things that you like to do in life. So basically what happens is it becomes like your business is your life, and it's the pleasurable life that you have because you design your business to be the kind of life you want to have. And also you are able to bring your life into your business. So for example, you could, depending on what your passion is, if you're out doing, something in the community, or, your pleasure is, going hiking in nature, you can actually bring your people with you while you're doing these things. Your audience of people who totally resonate with who you are and feel inspired by the work that you offer, they're going to want to come on the journey that you're taking in life. So suddenly your life becomes your marketing. It's not something that you have to keep separate, right? Like your marketing is one thing, and then your business is another thing, and then your fun life is another thing, and then your family is another thing. This is why women think there's not enough time for everything, because they're compartmentalizing their life.
Yeah.
And we're about bringing it all together, and that's how you have enough time to do everything.
That's it. So we don't give ourselves that permission to be enjoying everything about ourselves. And it's often that case of having that fear, like, well, we've got so many clients these days that are, for example, just to bring it home, there's things that we can be really afraid to express. So these clients are involved in, they're coaching women to have a more powerful sexual life or more pleasurable sexual experience, or to heal from sexual abuse, or sexuality in some way. To me, this was a subject I figured I was never ever going to publicly speak about, and yet it's a huge part of who I am and my experience and what I have to offer. Mm-hmm. So there was this wall, and it was literally a wall of fear that I felt if I was going to express this stuff that somehow I was going to die. But it's because I had surrounded myself with very unskillfully with like a blanket audience that just came out of wherever, and they were the ones that decided that they were going to tune into me, rather than me choosing my tribe, choosing my sisterhood, choosing now the women that are absolutely a perfect lock and key fit for what it is that I have to offer. And now I feel enormous safety in expressing all the subjects, whether it's about sex or it's about money, all those things that were really risky to me. Now I feel totally comfortable expressing about. This last week was a good example. I posted a picture of myself that's quite risque, but guess what? My people get it. And there wasn't a single misunderstanding or a rude comment or anyone. And it what it did, it must have chased people away. I don't know who it did, but it made them get out of my zone, because I was so clear about who I am, like literally naked about who I am, that they were going to be either totally repelled or totally drawn in.
Yeah, and it's a perfect example of how the personality brand, based on your authentic sharing, is a way of attracting ideal clients. And so it serves in the area of marketing, but it also serves us as the coach or the healer or the practitioner or whatever it is that we do, because we get to express who we are in our business every single day without censoring ourselves in any way. So there's no professional version of you in your business and then your personal you that you are to your kids and then to your friends and whatever. It's basically just giving yourself permission to be exactly who you are, and then allowing the right people are going to be attracted to that, and the wrong people are going to be, you know, completely repelled by it, and you actually want them to be off your list. You want them to be not a part of your world because they don't appreciate the value that you bring. And it's just not for them, right? So why waste their time? Why waste your time? So it's a beautiful way to give you the freedom of full self-expression to decide that your business is going to be multi-passionate and a personality brand.
That's it. And I want to speak just a moment to the concept of balance that's so commonly talked about these days, that you know, all we need is some perfect work-life balance, and then it's going to be the nirvana, or this amazing life is going to happen. And I started waking up and going, I don't want balance between my professional and my personal life. I just want a life. Just one great life. The same thing, I didn't want to be all fragmented into different areas of my professional life either. I just wanted one profession. So it's evolved now to just one life that includes my family, and includes eating great. It includes having a wonderful relationship. It includes being engaged with community. It includes traveling. It includes learning and studying. It includes mentoring. It includes events. It includes a lot of fun and just outside the box doing whatever the heck we want sometimes.
Exactly. So we like to say that you want to create a business that you wouldn't want to have to take a vacation from, and that you'd actually want to take with you when you go on vacation. It should be that awesome for you.
Yeah.
That's that good. All right. So now that you've dropped the idea that, you know, there's any limitations about how you need to be in business, and open up to the possibility that you can have your business in any way you want, the next question is, how can I bring all of myself into my business and make my passions profitable, right? So basically the first step is really opening up to the possibility. And then the second step is to look at what is it in your life or your business right now that doesn't serve you, and really getting clear on those things. We actually have a handout below for you that you can do this work on. But we want to start to think about what is not working, because sometimes that's where you have to start. You have to get rid of all the crap first. Write that down on a piece of paper so that you make sure that you do not design a business that includes those things. And then you want to literally, from a blank slate, now that you've allowed yourself to give yourself permission to drop the stuff that doesn't serve you, now from that clean slate, you want to think about how you can incorporate all your skills, your gifts, and your passions together so that you can express all of yourself through a business that you love to the same degree that you would love a child, and you want to be committed to it. And you never want to quit because it's so important to you to either make that difference that you're here to make, or just express yourself in a certain way. Just really, really giving yourself permission. It doesn't matter what, you know, your logical mind's going to go, oh, no one would ever pay for that, or who would want that, or, you know, all this stuff that comes through. Just allow yourself to be unedited in your expression of how you want to think about how you want to spend your days. That can be a great place to start. What do I want my days to look like? And then how could I express all of my passion through those days? Set up like that.
Yes, that's true. And just to interrupt, so this, by the way, applies if you're in startup designing your business, but it very much applies if you've been in business for some time and there's either the whole business or parts of the business that you've fallen out of love with. And because what happens is we really actually end up focusing on those parts we don't love. You don't consciously do that. We do it unconsciously, unfortunately, and that's why it can end up really sucking the life out of us. We're giving so much energy to what we don't want, and in the process we're actually saying no to what we don't want, and it keeps it really embedded in place and gets us into a cycle of negativity. So if you already have a business and you know you've got some things are on track and you've got a basic idea of where you're going, but there's a lot of things that are bumpy and don't feel good, then this is really perfect for you as well.
Absolutely. It's about creating consciously and recreating consciously. And as women, that is something that we are attuned to. The energies of the moon cycle, for example, brings us back into, at the new moon period, as women, we have this time period to revision and to continue on a cyclic basis. We are meant to do that. We are meant to let go and then revision every 4 weeks along with the moon cycle. So this is something that you want to get into a habit of doing in your business. And it's something that Beth and I do ourselves and also facilitate for our clients to give them that opportunity and remind them to come back to the energy of the different periods of the moon and restructure and recreate their business so that it serves them, and constantly looking at what needs to actually be dropped so that you can get your energy back from those things that don't serve you and don't serve your business.
Yes, beautiful. So should we have, do you want to walk them through the play sheet? So we don't say worksheet around here at Fempreneur Love. We say play sheet. Do you want to walk them through?
Yeah, so basically all you're going to do is at the top of the worksheet, play sheet, you're going to be listing the things that you don't want to have in your business anymore, or that you don't like doing in life, that you imagine that if you don't have a business yet, that you think you have to do to have a business, and that's what's stopping you from moving forward because you don't want to be stuck in that. So one thing would be like, oh, I have to be a workaholic, as an example. Well, I don't want to be a workaholic, so therefore I'm going to sabotage the startup of my business. Put that there so you can create this, like, complete blank slate. And then just start journaling free flow about the vision that you have from this place of space that you created moving forward. And then the next thing is that you want to, naturally, once you've completed those exercises, the next question that's going to come up for you is, okay, so now that I've figured out a way to bring this together, how can I actually make it marketable and profitable? And so to help you do that, in the next video, Beth and I are going to share with you our 6 key questions that once you answer them are going to give you amazing clarity around what you offer, and it'll give you the confidence to know that what you're offering is actually marketable and profitable. So you're going to want to come and join us on the second video. But before you go, we just want to ask you to put down below what your vision is, what your dream is. Let us give you some feedback so that we can help you to open up. And if you have some deep burning questions about that, please post them below, and Beth and I are going to be there, and we want to help you to get to the next level of your vision and to get more deeper clarity, or just to cheerlead you, to just say that's an awesome idea and we love it and we want to help you moving forward.
Exactly, because our life work, it's not in a box. It only becomes our life work because we have connected out to the community. And it's through the sharing. Like we could go in a rat trap all day long and get absolutely nowhere. We just go in circles and spin, and we're trying to figure it out. And then when we can't figure it out, we find some way to beat ourselves up. And so it's through the dialogue, right? All the teachings, all the ancient teachings have always come through this dialogue, through this creative dialogue where we open up and we bring this positive spirit of creativity to our work. And Sherry and I, we absolutely love connecting with you. I really live for it. This is my reason to be in business at all. So I'm excited to hear from you what you're going through.
So don't be afraid to be vulnerable and to go as deep as you want to go, and just really take advantage of the opportunity to be witnessed. That's really important. It's something missing, I think, in this culture.
Gorgeous.
Okay. So we'll see you soon in video 2.
It takes a lot of love